Aunt Paula went quiet when the inn booking named my boyfriend as Hailey's emergency contact. Aunt Paula wrecked her own vow renewal lunch by thanking the wrong woman out loud. The fellowship hall was full of silver balloons, pasta trays, and church people pretending not to track everybody's business. My boyfriend Mason came. So did Hailey. Hailey also dated Mason in college. That fact was always handled like a harmless old story. Mason said it ended years before I knew either of them. Hailey said it was brief and not worth being weird about now. I accepted that because the alternative was turning every barbecue into a courtroom. But the last month had been off. Mason volunteered for errands he normally dodged. Hailey started texting him directly about Paula stuff instead of using the group thread. Twice I walked up on conversations that ended too neatly. None of it was enough to accuse anybody of cheating without looking insecure. At the lunch, Paula stood with the microphone and started thanking everyone who made the day happen. Then she smiled at Hailey and said she did not know what she would have done without Hailey and Mason handling all the secret running around this week. I looked at Mason. He looked down. My mother asked what secret running around meant. Paula laughed and said she was only talking about the anniversary surprise. Hailey said Paula mixed things up all the time. Then Paula made it worse. She asked whether Mason had hidden the reservation from me, better than he hid the florist pickup. I asked what reservation. Mason said Paula misunderstood. Hailey said it was for the event weekend and I was making a face. My mother said, if Clara doesn't know about it, try again. Uncle Ron, trying to rescue the lunch, grabbed a stack of confirmations from the gift table and handed them to me. On top was the florist invoice. Under it was a Riverton Inn confirmation printed from Hailey's email. 1 queen room, Friday check-in, dining package for 2. Emergency contact, Mason Reed. Friday was the same night. Mason told me he was stuck at work for inventory. Hailey grabbed for the paper and said the room was for her and her cousin because they had to help Paula early Saturday. Mason said I was embarrassing him over a logistics favor. That might have lived longer if my Aunt Denise had not flipped the page and read the add-on note. Please keep previous room location if available. Last stay was comfortable. Mason said inns autofill guest notes. Denise asked whether they also autofill boyfriends as emergency contacts on women's overnight bookings. Hailey said she used Mason because he answered late. My mother asked why my boyfriend was apparently the late-night contact for my best friend's one-room stay. Maybe there was still an innocent version. Maybe Hailey really brought a cousin. Maybe Mason only lied because he knew how bad it sounded. That is why people would still argue about it. But there was no innocent version of the lying itself. Mason had told me he was at work. Hailey had clearly been close enough to him to use his number on a private booking. And both of them stood there acting like my reaction was the disruptive thing. The room changed. Paula sat down and stopped helping. Uncle Ron quit smoothing it over. Denise handed the papers to my mother. Hailey kept saying everyone was making something filthy out of errands. Mason said physical cheating had never happened, which is not what I asked, and not what innocent people usually volunteer first. I told Mason he could find his own ride home. Then I told Hailey not to come by my apartment until I decided whether friendship survives the part where two people let you feel crazy on purpose. The lunch kept going because church people will eat through almost anything. But by the time the cousins started stacking chairs, nobody was treating me like the paranoid one anymore. They were all staring at the same reservation and wondering how long Mason and Hailey had been counting on good manners to hide what they still would not name plainly.